We live, y'all. We live by the skin of my teeth. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Let me adjust this camera really quickly so you can see a little bit more than just my neck. All right. And welcome, IG. I'm only going to be on IG for the first 10 or 15 minutes. And then all of you guys on IG, mosey on over to my YouTube channel, which is That Homeschool Life. And the link is in the bio. So come on over there, okay? So, hey, what's up, Amy? All right, guys. So we are going to jump right into it. The reason, first, hold on. I'm forgetting the rules. Rule number 1 for our Friday Night Live Hall Pass Hour is, it's in the title. There's a mosquito in here. Hold on, y'all. I don't want any mosquito bites. Hall Pass. Make sure you have your Hall Pass. Whether you drink it, eat it, smoke it, wear it, whatever makes you feel good and comfy, get your Hall Pass going. I am doing the Hall Pass to the principal's office. So I just got straight cold water in here because I'm hot. But if I had the Hall Pass to the bathroom, then it would be a nice little circus and party in here. But there you go. All right. Now listen. The reason for this video is because, what's up, speaking of Liv? The reason for this video is because all last week and then half of this week was a disaster. I was failing big time, just like I failed trying to kill that mosquito. And the reason why I failed was because some of you don't know, but a lot of you do know, I have a couple of businesses and I homeschool, and I'm a wife and I'm a mom. And according to me, that's four full-time jobs. And I just couldn't do it, y'all. I was like, Lord have mercy. Can I just have 1.5 jobs this week? Because I'm going to be at 10% for all these other job titles that I have. So if I could just get an amen, let me know if you are in the same boat with all the jobs that you have. Put in the comments, how many jobs do you have? Because I know y'all got a whole bunch of jobs. Some of you guys have more jobs than that because you might have 2 jobs. You work at home, maybe that's your side hustle, and then you work outside the home, and then, and then, see, you work outside the home, and then you work inside the home with your side hustle, and then you got to raise your kids, and then maybe you watching or raising somebody else's kids because they not following life's path, and then, maybe you're a single parent, or you have a spouse, but you might as well be a single parent because if the spouse or the partner don't do nothing. So when you think about it, y'all, we got like 12, 20 jobs, full-time jobs. So I don't want you to beat yourself up, okay? Because actually, I wasn't beating myself up. I was just looking at the situation and I was like, I stepped outside myself. Oh, I don't have my elephant here to pretend that it's me. Look. This is the me, and then this was the other self. And the other self was like, girl, now you know you're going to be not hitting a home run this week and probably next week. But it's okay. Just get through it. And remember what your daddy says. You will rebound in life. I'm like, oh, look, it's got mirrors on it too. I'm like, yes, I don't care what happens this week or next week. I'm going to rebound in life and my kids will be fine. Okay, so if you just remember that, you're going to be okay. What's up, Queen? The Crown Mama. Y'all got some nice, powerful names in here. Her words. Hey, guys. Okay, just to let you know, IG, I'm only going to be on here for like maybe 10, 15 minutes. Then I want y'all to walk on or moonwalk over to my YouTube channel, which is That Homeschool Life. The link is in the bio. Okay, so let's get into it. So what I was failing at and what I was like not getting the job done was, it's tax time. And yesterday, taxes were due, even though they are extended, at least in our state in California. But y'all, California got so many rules. That's why everybody's leaving California. Elon Musk left. 5 different major companies have left California. But I was so focused on that And just the domino effect was, it was coming into play because I wasn't organized. My business wasn't really organized the way I thought it was because I didn't have a good system in place. And then, school's almost over for us. So I was kind of slacking, not checking up on the kids, checking their work. Usually they bring me their work when they're done, or they put it in their work basket, and later on in the day, I'll go and check their work. I didn't do that for a whole week. Child, my one son, his grammar, he had so many mistakes in his grammar. He thinking he's fine with his grammar. He don't know, because I usually come to him and say, okay, let's work on this. I didn't do any of that. So he thought he was like an ace in his grammar. I'm like, oh Lord, you got about 12 mistakes. So just all of those things. And then friends, I ain't talked to in like a year or two, calling, needing something, whatever. And just the conversations where it's not really easy to say, girl, bye, I gotta go. So anyway, so I did not follow all of my advice, and here we are. So I was like, look, I got to get a plan together. Dinner was all raggedy, although my husband cooks. He cooks a lot, but, I wasn't eating well. And so when I'm not eating right, I smell it coming through my pores. Like if I'm eating, a lot of takeout or a lot of foods that have additives and things like that. What's up, my dear? What's up? Hey, I saw you over on someone else's channel. You were moderating the other day. I wanted to give a shout out, but I was driving. But it's good to see you. It's good to see you. So anyway, so what I sat down and did, a couple days passed. Oh, okay. If y'all remember on my last live or my last video, I was telling you that I'm really trying to bump my business up. I'm trying to get to that 6-figure level. And I put my kids on the payroll, like officially. Before, I'm just sliding them some money here and there. Here, you do this, you do that. I'm like, girl, you got to be official with it. And, the tax write-offs are amazing. So it was just doing all of those things that just kind of took me off my course. But I'm back on, and I'm here to help you. But first of all, partake in your hall pass, and then forgive yourself for all the crap you didn't. I want to say another word besides crap, but forgive yourself for all the crap you didn't do, you neglected, you couldn't do, whatever. Forgive yourself and restart. Okay, so these are my 4 tips to help you as a work-at-home mom, okay, to avoid those woes, okay? Now, there's two kinds of work-at-home moms, the WAHM. That's the acronym. You have those who work at home in the house, and then you have those who work outside the house, okay? Now, for those of my ladies and men who do work outside the house, you have some extra juggling to do, but I'm here to help you because my bestie friend who was on my live, 2 or 3 weeks ago, she's got 3 real full-time jobs. She's a homeschooler. She runs her own learning center with like 6 or 7 employees, and then she works for a charter school. So she's got a lot of juggling, and she's a single parent on top of that, and she got 2 dogs and 2 kids. So she's my hero. And actually I wanted her to be on live today, and she's in school. She's working on a credential. She's got like 2-3 masters, so it can be done. So the first thing I wanted to go over is your preparation. Now, go into my archives on my YouTube video. I have a video. I think I'm wearing something brown. My hair is looking cute that day. It's called Do You Have a Plan and Prep Day? Okay. Do you have a plan and prep day? And in that video, I talk about a couple things to do the night before you start your week. Okay. Some of these things you guys know, but you don't do, like me. You know all this knowledge, you don't act on it. And that's the problem, okay? So we're not going to have this problem anymore. We're going to do baby steps. Now, for the preparation, number 1, look at what exhausts you or takes the most energy out of you. And for me, when my husband's not cooking, it's food. my kids make their own breakfast and their own lunch, dinner. Sometimes they'll make their dinner like once a week, and it's basic spaghetti stuff. I don't eat it. But overall, you know, I want them to have more nutritious meals. So when I plan, you know, that weekend, when I meal prep, we are smooth sailing. I recommend that you watch J. Mariel Stewart. What's her YouTube channel, y'all? She's got like over 150,000 subscribers. The Large Family Table. And you just put J. Mariel, Jamerril, something like that. She got like 20 kids. No, she got 9 kids. That's a lot. And she preps. She has so many prepping videos. You can learn a lot from her. There are lots of videos on YouTube to learn how to meal prep. I'm telling you, that is a lifesaver. Let me read some of these comments. Jazzy Tees. I'm a work from home mom. I homeschool 2 kids and I run 2 businesses. Hall pass for you, Jazzy Tees. Y'all do a hall pass. Take a sip or a bite, because that's exhausting. So we need these little hacks, these shortcuts, these cheat sheets to get us from Monday to Friday without hurting somebody. Okay, Ashley says, friends, I call those weeks focus weeks, and we need them from time to time. Got to give ourselves grace. I love that, focus weeks. Sometimes it's good to have a mantra for you as the mom. We have one for our family, but for you to always, when you think about it, especially if you put the little message on, you know, your mirror, your bathroom mirror, or the, you know, in your wallet or on your steering wheel, just having lots of little reminders. So eventually, you know, it's osmosis, right? And it's programming, what they do with TV and radio. So you reprogrammed yourself. What's up, Mona? Her words heal. The Large Family Table. Yes, that's it. J. Mariel Stewart. Her YouTube channel is The Large Family Table. Yeah, she's the queen of freezer meals. And I always say that to her. I've been saying that for years, and she always laughs because I'm like, you're the queen of this and that. But that woman, she really be on it. Okay, so you want to take that weekend if you can, or that day, and prep your food. Get your kids involved if you can stand them being in the kitchen, okay? For me, that was the biggest thing. So if that's not your biggest thing, don't worry about it. Let's move on to the next thing, okay? Plan B for your kids. When one kid can't figure out something and you need to spend more time with him, and then the other kid can't figure out something, and the other kid's like, Mom, I can't log on. Something's wrong with the internet, or something's wrong with the router, you know, or the connection. All of that stuff going on, and then your mama calling you, well, girl, baby, you know your sister was thinking, and she's talking all slow, not getting to the point, and it's mama, so you can't rush her. So when all that's going on, or, you know, something at work is going on, you have to get something done, get something turned in, or whatever it is, your plan B is, y'all, let me tell you, I used this today. I was in LA traffic for an hour trying to pick up one of my kids from a Kung Fu class. Okay. So that plan B is this is some planning, have your list of YouTube videos on a playlist, or Amazon or Netflix, put all the documentaries, nice movies, anything that you don't mind your child watching. Try to get as much educational stuff in there. There are a lot of educational movies out there. We have a playlist of over 50 educational movies or documentaries on YouTube. We're watching one now called The Fall of Civilizations. That's on YouTube. It's free. It's a lot of free stuff. Make those playlists. If you don't want your child to have screen time, get a box, a Vaughn's bag, a Target bag, whatever, and every book that your child likes, but don't let them read it. Just books they haven't read, but maybe you know they like. Maybe it's a book in a series, or it's an author that they like, or a subject that they like. Put that in a bag, a basket, what have you, and keep it off. Have a couple. Oh, I wonder if I brought it up here. Puzzle books. You know, those little, they have mazes and puzzles and all kinds of stuff. If your kid don't like it, he gonna like it. If the option is, well, go do some math, go do some writing. Okay, Mom, where's the puzzle book? Throw that in there. Whatever they're into, put it in that bag. I have a video on that. How to homeschool multiple kids without losing your mind. You got to have those educational or positive distractions for your kids, because you might find, like me, I'm like, oh shoot, I have a virtual address and I also have a mailing address. And when I was applying for my DUNS number to get business, to start building business credit for one of my businesses, I was, oh my God, I don't have this and that. And I had a deadline to meet. So the kids, I was like, okay, y'all, watch the next series for Fall of Civilizations. You go grab that puzzle book, because he'd already had, my oldest one, he had already had 2 online classes back to back. So I'm like, just chill, just do something, you know, where you're still working your brain. And I had to be on the computer for an hour getting all of that straightened out. So, and they already know the get down. They know they can go here. I have a box of games for them. And let me tell you about the games, like the board games and things like that. They don't just have like your little regular life Monopoly, Chutes and Ladders. They have a lot of educational board games that are fun. I have stuff for speech, like the parts of speech, for division, and it gets really specific too. Maybe for my next slide, we should just go through my homeschool room and I can show you all of those things. But I have one for multiplication, division. I have a whole bunch. Geography. Or if your child does memory work, you know, memory work, especially if you choose pieces that they really, really like, go work on your memory work. So those are things that, number one, you can draw upon in a pinch. And 2, if you need to jump in a car and get going, you car school and have all that stuff in your car. Now, I'm a prepper, so I have, if you see my car, maybe I should do a tour of my car. Every door in my car has a book or a puzzle, a notepad, pens and pencils. And then in the middle console, I have all the audiobooks and then some CDs, because I still have a CD in my car. So we get stuck in that LA traffic. I did it for prepping, but for car schooling, you're good to go. So you're covered both ways. Hello, Sabrina. Hey. So don't be unprepared, because proper preparation prevents poor performance. Okay, proper preparation prevents poor performance, or as Jimmy Johnson would say, you know, the former head coach of the Cowboys, perfect practice makes perfect. But either way, you want to have those distractions. You want to have that plan B ready to go. Okay. Okay. Now this one is really big. This is planning on your part. Okay, this is your schedule. You have to, hold on, I gotta sit up for this, y'all. Hold on. And it's gonna take some time to tweak this, y'all, but hang with me. Your schedule the night before. You first off need to do an audit of your time and your time wasters. You know how when you're trying to like get into financial, you know, savings or budgets, you know, the Dave Ramsey's and the Susie Ormans and all that kind of stuff, they tell you need to audit your spending habits. You need to see what you're spending your money on, where, when, how often, things like that. You need to do that for your time, because right now, first of all, there are 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. So that's 168 hours a week. And then if you sleep a little bit, like an average 4 or 5 hours, something like that, you kind of down to 112 hours, give or take, for the week to get stuff done. So if you look at how your time is spent, you have either large windows of time where you're pretty much not interrupted, like sleep, and early in the morning before your kids wake up, and then late at night after your kids go to bed, right? So those are large windows of time. And then you have your short or your smaller windows of time. You know, that's 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, you know, just enough time for you to go use the bathroom and, you know, brush your teeth or make a quick phone call for that doctor's appointment. You need to look at where you have those windows of time. Then you need to write down, oh, Lord, I need to make a principle. And then you need to write down, for windows of time, for large windows of time, I have these 5 options to do. For small windows of time, I have these options to do. So when you find you have this time, you're not sitting here, oh, what am I going to do? You know, you just, or you're frantic. You're like, should I do this or that? And then you waste about 5 minutes trying to figure out. So have that list of what you can do for those little short windows of time. Let's say 10 minutes or less. If you're in the kitchen and, kids are doing their work and stuff like that, hey, or you're cooking, clean out that junk drawer. I know everybody got a junk drawer. Clean out that junk drawer, because most of the time, when you're looking for stuff around the house, it's probably in that junk drawer. Clean out the junk drawer, okay? Or if you got chipped nail polish like I had on earlier today, I painted my nails. I just did one coat, and then I did the next coat like a couple of hours later. But at least I feel better because my nails aren't halfway on and halfway off. I feel better already. That's a little bit of self-care, okay? And we're going to get to that. Self-care, okay? So if you guys are with me with getting a plan together, having your plan B, and, starting to like analyze what you're doing with your time, put a yes in the chat, please. Put a yes so I know I'm not alone. I can't be the only helter-skelter person around here, but we're not going to be helter-skelter for long, okay? Now, once you find out what your time is, what your time wasters are, your mama, your best friend, Facebook, social media, y'all be honest. I know some of y'all, 11 o'clock, in the morning, and y'all strong on social media. You in every group, you on every live, all that stuff. I know, because I see y'all, because I'm on there too. No, I am sometimes though. So find out what those time wasters are, and then you cut it out or you cut it down so you can get some of that time back. So you can say, okay, so for my business, I know when I'm doing timesheets for my kids, that doesn't take that long because they're just kind of new to doing it. So I know for 10 minutes, like sometimes I do like to make lunch for my kids because they'll be sitting at the counter doing the work, and I'll just make some lunch and we're talking. And I love that part. I love that part of teaching and being a mom. But also I'm like, okay, I got this time. So I can start filling in these timesheets, while they're learning, I'm cooking, and I have that small window of time. So just make that list of what can you squeeze in, and then make copies of it so you know exactly what to do when you find you have that time, okay? All right, now the next thing, once you kind of find out what your time is looking like, decide if I'm an early riser. I've been an early riser since 3rd grade. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning without fail. I don't know why this happens to me, but it does. My sister, she'll be going to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, okay? She's a night owl. That's going to determine your day. Because if you're a night owl and you're like, well, let me just get up in the morning before the kids wake up and get some stuff done, you're going to lose. You're just going to lose. You might decide and this was my other fail this week. I've been putting in a lot of hours preparing for tax season and all of that stuff. And I've been working until like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning after the kids go to bed. That's not me, because my body gets me up at 4 o'clock. So I was struggling. I got little breakouts. I look. There is no reason why I got this zucchini bread. Look, and this zucchini bread filled the whole bag. Why is it a corner? And when I came in here, the whole bag was full. But see, I was up late at night. Had no business doing that. Typing, working, and eating. Don't do that, y'all. Snacks, if you're not a night owl, don't try to work from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. Switch it up, okay? That way you give yourself a chance to be kind of functional during the day, or at least get some good, solid sleep. So decide, okay, and you know this, are you a night owl? Are you an early riser? Then that's how you know that long window of time, that's how you use it. You either use it once the kids go to bed or before the kids wake up, okay? So try it out. Now, next is schedule. And shout out to Sean, the homeschooling guru. I need to have her on. She's a homeschooling mom out of Texas. And when she does her lives, it's so funny because she'll be on live at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And then she's like, yeah, we're going to get ready to eat dinner. Eat dinner? That's so late. But she eats dinner late. Sean is a homeschooler. She has a couple of businesses and she's a content creator. And she got a gang of kids. So, and a husband. So that works for her family. So what I want you guys to do, which is what I do, is schedule how you schedule your day. And first of all, don't be telling people your business. I am so serious. I heard a chick, a homeschooler, talking to, I don't know if the other woman was a homeschooler, but the other woman had said something kind of snarky to the homeschooler because, you know, her kids, if you're not a traditional, hold on, that's a tangent. Y'all just remind me about the snarky mom, and I'll tell you about that. Just don't tell people your business. Don't tell people your business, okay? Now, for your schedule, okay, you might decide we're going to eat dinner 10 o'clock at night or early in the day. Or you might decide, you know what? I got to get this work done during the day. So we're going to homeschool from 5 o'clock in the evening until 10 o'clock at night. Okay, you gotta Jedi mind trick this for you, and don't be telling people your business on what you're doing. Okay, so decide if, okay, maybe you need a 4-day homeschool week, and the 5th day is when you Speedy Gonzalez all your work for your business or for, you know, whatever you need to do. You have that one day to get that stuff done. So you got to play around with that schedule, okay? Everything doesn't have to be traditional and the regular way of doing things. You might say, hey, you know what? My kids can get up at 11 o'clock in the morning and we'll homeschool later in the day. And that gives you time from, like, say, 7 o'clock or whenever you wake up until 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock for you to get your work done. Okay, so your kids could start their homeschool day at lunchtime and you work in the morning or vice versa. So it's like the cups, you know, or just move the pieces around to figure out what works for you. But don't tell people your business, okay? Maybe you want to homeschool year round, and that's what we've done. And because we homeschool year round, I can go at a snail's pace. I could do whatever I want because I know we're constantly going to be learning. So I don't feel a need to, well, let's get through this before, you know, this arbitrary deadline or date or month or something like that, with the exception of the online classes. But that's no big deal. All right, next. Hold on, y'all. I smell this zucchini bread and I want to take a bite, but I don't want to eat in front of y'all. Okay. Oh, also, if you car school, or if you don't, but you need that little hack, I love Evan Moore. Evan Moore need to break me off some affiliate money or some some money. I love Evan Moore. It's so easy. You can just keep the little books in the house or in the car on the sides of the doors or whatever. Keep them in your kids' backpack if they're constantly on the go. I love Evan Moore to just give, if your kids need to do something, it's great for that. And I think I have a review on Evan Moore. If not, there's one coming because it's really great for that. Okay. Next. All right, y'all. It's your kids. Now, that might be, I don't want to say your kids are your enemy, but they could be your adversary, all right? So we don't want our kids to be an adversary to us, okay? You know, so so what you want to do, you want to start getting them very independent. Now, here's the thing. If you have little ones, say, you know, like first grade, well, no, they can do stuff in first grade. Let's just say pre-K and down to, you just pop them out of your VJJ. If you got those kind of kids, you're going to have work. And I can't lie to you. You're going to have work because they're not going to be independent. They're not going to be self-sufficient. They are the most needy of all humans right now. So you're going to be having work, sisters. I'm sorry. We're just going to have to find ways to help you redirect the other amount of time that you have. Just know that's just a season of time, okay? If you have the little ones, the little people. But for the older ones, this is your chance to really get them to be independent and to help you, especially if you have a home business or if you have your own business. This is another way to bring them into the business. Number one, to help you out. Number two, to get those tax benefits. Number three, to teach them those life skills. And number four, to teach your younger kids, okay? So this is what I do right now. I'm living it. My oldest son, he's really, really great at math, and he tutors either of his brothers, depending on their attitudes. He helps them with their problems, their math problems. And, you know, I break them off $5 a session. That's it. And because I don't want them to kind of get together and, you know, what do they call it when you, like when two businesses get together and they plot on the customers? I forget, there's a business term for it. Collusion. I don't want them to be like, okay, well, we want to buy these games on Steam, so I'm going to pretend that I need help every day of the week. You know, kids come up with all kinds of things, so we're not going that route. So I'm like, just $5, and, you know, there's a max for that. But this will help your older child really know, or help them with the knowledge that they're teaching to the younger kids. It will help solidify that with them. And then two, it helps foster a relationship between your two kids or three kids, however many is working together. And then three, you get time to do something else, okay? But first, you know, you got to prep them and model them how it looks, how to get, you know, how you started, you know, things you don't say, like, no, that's wrong, dummy. You know, you don't want your kids saying that to each other. So you get a model. So there's a little bit of preparation in that. But once you get that prep going, oh, it could be wonderful, guys. It could free up a lot of space. Now, y'all saw my one video where I said, come get these kids. It was a day in the life. My kids are doing their science all by themselves. And my oldest one, he was a little dictator, but they got through it and they've been doing it. It takes them like 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. And that's free time for me. They're learning. The oldest one is teaching them, you know, with the stuff that he's learned. And, you know, kids learn from each other. You know, you don't always have to be the teacher. Yes, Ashley, the best way to learn is to teach. Okay. So, and that goes to my other point about teaching independence and life skills to your kids. And that's why sometimes you'll see homeschoolers who are like amazing with things. Like if you see them at a conference or just something where you see a whole bunch of kids, a co-op or something like that. I mean, their elocution is high. They explain things clearly. They're very comfortable in their skin. That's because they've been doing it with their brothers and sisters, you know, forever. So if we can start getting those skills with them and just, you know, over and over and over again, that's going to help them out a lot when they're out in the real world and they need to communicate to other people. So don't sleep on that. But before the independence, we want, okay, this is what you need to do, okay? And I definitely have to give you a tour of, well, once my kids clean up their room, of my kids' workstations, okay? My kids are older, 10, 12, and 14, and they all have loft beds, and underneath the loft bed is their workspace, okay? And they all have a calendar where they write down what they have to do for that week, and they all have a work basket where they keep all of their supplies, books, all of that good stuff. And so they don't have to ask you where anything is. What do I have to do today? If you put them in a position to be independent, then they can start looking at what they have for the week. Oh, I have an online class. Like my middle son, oh my gosh, I love him. This was the child that kept me on my knees. Oh my God. Now he got my hands up to the sky. I'm so happy. He goes into his classes. He'll get up. He'll make himself breakfast. Then he'll go sit down, log into his class. He'll have his work ready. I'm like, You my favorite child right now, but don't tell your brothers. Don't tell your brothers. I love that. He is so low maintenance now. But for 5 years, he was high maintenance. So I think I paid my dues. But you want them to have more control of their workspace and what they're doing. Does your child know how to plan for the week? Okay. This doesn't just have to be in middle school. This can start, I would say, in like upper elementary school, unless you have a really organized, younger child that can follow directions very well. But they can start writing down their assignments and what they need to do for the day. I have a free daily checklist that I always have. I have one down here below in the description box. That daily checklist I made for kids, because that's what my kids have used. And they can write everything down, okay? So there's no excuse for them not starting to be independent with their life, with their school stuff, okay? What else? Okay, so, now going back to, my next one, your priorities. Now listen, a lot of moms, a lot of women are pushovers, and I wanted to use another word, but we are pushovers. Always saying yes to something, don't want to offend somebody. You know how we women are sometimes. Y'all got to stop that. You have to stop that. And let me tell you why. That will be the start of your demise. You start overextending yourself or lending an ear, and then those people you're lending the ear to become energy vampires. That wrecks your whole day. And you got to cook, you got to clean, you got to educate, and you have to work. You can't let them into your world. So you have to say no. I've talked about this in plenty of videos. You have to say no. Ashley says, I used to laminate chore lists. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about too. I do have a chore chart. I have it as a free printable. It's somewhere. It's on one of my videos from like 2 years ago. I'll try to dig it up. But I've updated it to a work for hire board. Oh, yeah, hold on, y'all. Y'all know I like to take notes when I'm on live. Okay, I'm going to show you our office, we call it the lab. The name changes like every other week, but in that lab, in our workspace, we have heat presses for their t-shirt business, and we have like a cutter too, and then we have a bulletin board that has work for hire. So this doesn't include chores that they have to do. Excuse me, guys. Hold on. Take a hall pass break. On this board is work for hire. I put dollar bills and then whatever that job is up on the board. If you don't want to use real money, like you don't want to just have it sitting out in case you have people that come over that got the 5-finger discount mentality, then just go order online, get you some fake dollar bills. They're like $2. But I put the money and then the chore and I use what do you call those paper clip things? The binder clips. So the binder, pretend this is the binder clip, and then this is the money, and the chore. Money goes on top because everybody responds to money, not to the work. A binder clip. Ooh, here we go. Binder clip. And then I have a thumbtack on the cork board and it hangs like that, okay? And then next to that, I have the rules for how they do the work for hire, how much they can do for the week, when they can start, and what things must be done before they can do the work for hire, okay? So there's some little regulations involved with that, but it's pretty cool. Hey, what's up, Aaron? It's good to see you. So for chores, yeah, so I'll probably do a video. I wrote that down to do a video to show you that. That's actually pretty cool, guys. It's just taking that chore list up a notch. And look, so instead of allowance, I call it their base pay. And then, they start thinking in terms of the real world, right? And when they have infractions, like when they leave, and they always do this and it annoys me, they leave their dirty clothes on the floor in the bathroom and the hamper's right there. I tax them. So, and I have a tax jar, and the tax rate is 8 1/4. And there you go. So I can do a video on that. My kids don't like that, but they remember, because they know when they leave stuff, especially when they leave stuff on my floor in my bedroom. Oh, honey, I need to raise that tax rate. I need to tax them more. All right, so priorities. So we got to say no to people, okay? These should be your non-negotiables. You don't answer the phone between this time and that time, okay? You don't do social media between this time and that time. And once you block out those time wasters, really start thinking about your priorities. Okay, now, I don't know if you guys follow her, but there's a sister. Her name is Erin. Her channel is called Erin On Demand. I love this girl. And I've been following her and putting into practice the things that she teaches, which is entrepreneurship. And yes, you love the tax rate. Yeah, and that's a great way to teach them their math skills and fractions and percentages, okay? Because they don't really get to use that much, but that's, out of all the math concepts you learn in high school, I think percentages, decimals, that's really percentages, really, and multiplication are used the most. Like when you're at the restaurant, or if you're using Uber and you want to leave a tip, and that stuff you have to do off the top of your head. So I'm like, those are really like those math consumer skills. I think that's it needs to be taught more. It needs to be focused on more. What was I talking about? So, what was I talking about? The non-negotiables, the tax rate. Someone said something about, Ashley, you distracted me. Look, Ashley is a distraction. No, I'm kidding. What was I saying? Y'all put it in the chat. What was I talking about? Y'all know I get scatterbrained sometimes. Well, I'm just going to go on to something else. The priorities. So Erin, she has this planner. And I think she got this idea from someone else, some other organizing guru. But she has this planner where in the planner, and she designed this planner, it has the top 3. And that's what it's called. So it's your top 3 priorities for the day. And let me tell you, when you get clear about those priorities, and 3 is not overwhelming. When you get clear on just those 3 things, it's like when you declutter your house or a room or a drawer, and you're like, oh my God, I feel so much more calm. Or when you clean out your junky car, you know how you feel when everything's in order and your eyes can just, what? Oh my God, I have these, oh my goodness. These are not my prescription glasses. These are my blue blockers for being on the screen because my eyes are red. I forgot I even had these on. So these are the little, oh shoot. Y'all, thank God it's Friday. I forgot what I was saying. Maybe if I put these back on, it'll come back to me. What was I saying, y'all? Erin's channel. Yeah, Erin need to come on and get her channel. All right, let me read this comment. Okay, okay. So IG, y'all go mosey over to my YouTube page. That's Homeschool Life. That's Homeschool Life. And if you click the link in the bio, it'll take you straight to my homepage. You'll see live. You'll see a big pink window. That's me. And go check us out there, okay? Thank you, all of you. Glitz, Kikaza, JM, LaBird, all these names I can't pronounce. Thank you guys for stopping by. Come on over and hang out with us on YouTube. Okay, so back to you guys. Now, Gisela, download video. So Gisela says, this group just popped up in my feed. Oh, great. Stock trader, accidental homeschooler of 2 boys. Loving it, but definitely need Botox and some surgery for my back circles. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the club, Gisela. And you're a stock trader. Oh, you know what? Because my kids have really been in the stock market. We were just talking about Coinbase IPO on Wednesday. But listen, as a stock trader, I know you're stressed. I know you're dealing with a lot of testosterone from all the men, and then just, that the minutia of everything changing from second to second. So you definitely get a sip of the hall pass. And then you're an accidental homeschooler of 2 boys. So you have 400 jobs, okay? 400 jobs. All right. Now listen. Okay, what was I saying? So the planner. Okay. So listen, y'all, where's my planner? Hold on. I just saw it. Is this it? No. Okay. This is my work. This is my work planner. But I have a planner for my job. This is it. $6.99 from TJ Maxx, okay? They had really nice ones for $3.99, but they're all bent and all raggedy. I was mad. So I have a planner for work. I have a planner for homeschool. And then I have a planner for like all my video ideas, okay? Just because it could be overwhelming to have everything in one, in one place. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to fix this IG. Okay, so with the calendar, okay, you want to put your 3 priorities, and you want to decide, what are my 3 priorities for work and what are my 3 priorities for homeschool. Okay, just start with those 2 things, because work needs to be done so you can get paid, and then the kids need to be educated so they can be productive citizens. So write down what those 3 priorities are. It could be maybe your child is struggling with reading, and that priority can be, no matter what, I'm spending 45 or 30 minutes, with X child going over phonics or decoding or whatever that is, okay? So, but that becomes a priority, and you'll have this sense of accomplishment, even if you don't do all 3 from both sides. If you just get one done, it's a win. And then you can do the other ones tomorrow, okay? And just know that some of those priorities, if you're being realistic, maybe you can only get 2 done, So set yourself up for success. Maybe start with 1 or 2 priorities for business and for school. And then, in a week or so, add another. Just build on it, because right now you're in this new phase now where you're learning how to prep and plan, and you're getting yourself together. So when you're having a bad day or it's just not going right, you got your tool belt, you got your emergency kit, your emergency life vest on. You got, oh, I got it. See, that was a distraction. See, you got people and things like that. Distraction. Okay. So I want you to do that, okay? And be realistic with your accomplishments, okay? If you have curriculum that is teacher intensive, don't have 3 priorities with 3 teacher intensive subjects. It's not going to happen. And one thing to do also is to do an audit of your curriculum. Okay. If you, like for me, I do all about spelling, which is phonics based spelling. In the beginning, it is teacher intensive. Now we're on like book 3, almost on book 4. It's not teacher intensive, but I would have been hard pressed trying to get my day done if I was like, my priority was to get through that, and then some teacher intensive writing and some teacher intensive math. No. So you want to, because I'm saying this because we have the homeschool conventions are starting right now, and then it's almost the end of the year, and people are looking for curriculum. You want to find curriculum that is a mix of low prep / no prep, and then give me your whole morning to prep before you start this lesson, this kind of thing. So have a balance of that, okay? Just so you can help prioritize realistically what you can do for those kids and then what you can do for your business, okay? What else? Also for curriculum, I find for me what helps a lot, my kids, I threw them bad boys in online classes. They have a number of online classes. I just had to outsource. I don't teach math. I check it. I don't teach it. My oldest one, he for Shakespeare, just all of them. For Shakespeare, remember last semester I was all gung-ho, and then I was like, I ain't got time for all this. I found a class that teaches Shakespeare's comedies and another class that teaches Shakespeare's tragedies. And they learn, and it's with someone who is like, they would go to a Shakespeare convention. They got a really good teacher, and I'm fine with that. So look for ways to outsource some of that school work if possible, especially if you work outside the home. I know 2 moms that work outside the home, and what they do, they FaceTime the kids. They also track, what's going on with their kids' laptop. But a lot of them are doing things online, or they have very independent work like curriculum, so it's easy for the kids to do on their own. They watch a lot of videos, so that's free. There are lots of things you can do, or there are some subscription-based things that are like low cost. Also, OutSchool. OutSchool is another wonderful way to outsource the work, so your kids can be educated, and then you can start working. Okay, I know you need that time. Okay, okay. I'm gonna wrap this up a little bit. Let's see. Don't sleep on using your kids. I want to go back to that, especially if your kids are a little bit older, say like 10 and up. Your work can be math, writing for your business. For example, if you send emails out, you can have your child craft those emails, okay? Or maybe have a template and then they fill things in if your child is a strong writer. For me, my oldest one, he transcribes. Okay, here's a hack, guys, especially if you're a content creator. I've been using this app called Otter, OTTER. And with this app, you can dictate into it, and then it puts it into a transcript, right? And it's free, and like the paid version doesn't cost that much, a few dollars. But then you have your whole transcript, right? I've done 2 ebooks, excuse me, and my son, he's been typing up my notes, my transcriptions. So I talk it out into Otter. Otter puts it in written form, and then my son takes the paper and he types it into my laptop. So I pay him for that. Well, he doesn't write, so it's technically not writing, but he's helping me with my social media. So he's like my little social media manager. He's looking at, well, that's not social media managing, but it is helping. I don't know what category I would put that in, but you have my printables, like my sight words printables on my website. All my kids tested them out. So, they did math, they did the multiplication, they did the sight words, they did everything. Get your kids involved, okay? Advertising, they can help you, especially with your older kids. They know how things are with TikTok and IG and all of that. And that's what my son is helping me with tomorrow. So next week, you guys subscribe to my IG channel, That's Real Homeschool Life, and it's underscore between each word, because he's helping me put together my social calendar for IG. I'm horrible at it, and he's like, okay, Mom, well, you got to do highlights because your page sucks. He says you need highlights, and you need to like put out like really quick little reels, and then you can put like labels on top of the reels. I'm like, Lord have mercy. So he's helping me with that. So we'll see how that goes. And we have negotiated a price for that. Okay. Let's see. They can help you do research. Don't underestimate your kids. Okay. So try to bring them in to help you with your work. If your kids can type, if not, there's a wonderful program. It's called Read, Type, Spell. I'm gonna take out to my homeschool room. I put all my kids through that, and my son, he types super, super fast. It was great. I would say start in 3rd grade with typing. Maybe this summer have them, do some typing tests. There was a typing program. There are lots of free typing programs out there. And then come fall, your kids can help you, with your work. Okay, so get some of that typing in. Okay, okay, I'm almost wrapping up here. I talked about the windows of time. Oh, demanding respect for your time and for your work. And this applies to your kids, your spouse or partner, obviously your friends and family. When you get up in the morning to do your work, or whenever you do your work, your kids can't come in here. Like when I stream, sometimes my kids come in here, but they're like real tentative. And I always say, my door is open, okay? But they never know like which job I'm working on, because I have so many. So they're like, okay, she said it's okay, so they come in. But I put that in them. I'm like, this is my time to do this, so I can give you this time, okay? And so they respect that. And so you're going to have to teach that repeatedly. This is my time. Just like when you're teaching your kids and you have multiple kids and you need all the other kids you're not teaching to be working independently or doing something, and they keep coming up to you about they need need something to eat, or someone did this to them, you have to keep taking them back to where they need to go and telling them to do this or that. It takes time. Well, this takes time too, but this goes down, this is on you. If you don't have respect for yourself as a full-time, several-time business, a full-time worker, a business person, then if you don't respect yourself as a business person and a mom and a teacher and all the other jobs that you have, if you don't respect that, they're not going to respect that. So you let them know, Mama's got this, and that. I am this, and that. How can I help you? Oh, okay. Well, then just wait. You might have to be very stern with them to let them know you're not kidding, especially if you're a very friendly mom with your kids and you don't follow through on what you say. They're not going to take you seriously. So find your stern mama voice and hold the line with telling them, I got to get this done, okay? And they'll eventually start to respect that. Gisela says, whatever comes with the teacher's manual is a no. I have no time for that. And it's honestly just a bunch of paperwork I don't need. When you have a teacher's manual, it can be an indicator that there's going to be some work, right? But there are some curriculum out there where the teacher planner is actually like, there's like a script inside and it tells you exactly what to say. Like Eva Moore is a little bit like that. They kind of do a light scripting and it has in quotations what the teacher says to the students. So Gisela, so be careful with that. Sometimes that teacher manual can be a lifesaver. You open it up and it says, this is what you're doing today. This is what you say for this. Like All About Spelling does that too. It says, tell the students A, B, and C. Boom. That tells me these are the 3 things that are essential to go. And I close it back up and I go teach my kids. So just look through the curriculum, the manual first, and see if it's one of those long, boring, dry, like you got 5 hours to read. And then look at the ones that it's just 1 page, is the words are laid out in a nice organized fashion so you can easily see, this is what I say. This is what I say. And if the kids say this, this is what I say. Like if the kid says something like incorrect, this is how you correct them, because that's a common mistake that kids make. So yeah. Yes. Ashley says setting boundaries is not selfish. It's required. Absolutely. I love that. We need those boundaries. We need them in life and we need them in our house with our kids. I suppose I don't like reading. No, it's all good. It's all good. Because, that reading, that takes up your time, especially if you have a short window of time. So it helps to know beforehand if the curriculum you have, if they do have a manual, you got 5 minutes, just look through it and see, is it one of those, I ain't got time for this mess manual? Or is it one of the ones that says, girl, we know you ain't got time for this mess. Read this and be done. So we call those low prep, no prep studies or manuals or curriculum. That's what I like. I like the ones that don't waste my time. I ain't got time to be spending 10 minutes cutting and gluing and putting stuff together to teach a doggone lesson. I got time for that. Okay. Don't forget the snarky mom story. Okay. And I'm about to wrap it up and then I'll get to the snarky mom story. I think I'm done with everything I wanted to say. Yes. All in all, y'all, if you're working, whether you're inside the house or outside the house, the key is that preparation, because I find that when I'm not prepared, that one little ravel of a thread is all it takes. Like, I had jeans on that I cut and I have all those little ravels, and I'm like, oh man, I got my pajamas on right now. But when there's like one little ravel and then you pull it and see how it's all nice and there's a cuff, but when you keep pulling it, it gets all jagged and everything. It starts with one little thread. Okay. So when you ain't got food prep for the week, that means you got to run out to the store. You got to think about putting something together. Then you go into the refrigerator and you see all the rotten, moldy stuff in there. Then you get mad and then you realize, wow, this refrigerator is really dirty. Then you start cleaning out the refrigerator. You see where I'm going with this? But if you just one day this week, just say, I'm going to prep for 2 days worth of meals. 5 days is too much. I'll do 2 days. That buys you some time. And then when that second day comes, do a little prep for 2 more days, okay? Heck, if you can stand your kids, bring them into it and say, okay, what y'all want to eat? Okay, if you don't tell me, this is what you're going to eat. And just make it, get them bento boxes, make it fun. They, if the kids, I tell my kids, what you pull out, you eat. So, because I can't have, because you start giving your kids all these choices and for your time is gone, okay? And, but it starts with that one little thread. So now your whole day starts unraveling. It's like the Jenga. Y'all remember that Jenga game? You pull out one little wooden block and you're hoping the whole building doesn't collapse, okay? But it's real slow and you're sweating and everything. It's real slow when you're pulling that out. You got to get that prep in. The most important thing, takeaway tonight, I will tell you is, number one, you will rebound in life. And if the day is a big total cluster F, then tomorrow is another day, right? Tomorrow is another day. And if nobody died, if nobody was hurt, if nobody lost a job, if nothing serious happened, it's a good day. And you rebound and you recharge and get ready for tomorrow. But if you have that kind of day, you sit your behind down like I had to do. And I had to be like, look, this is what's wasting my time. This is what I hate to do. And I go into, in my video, the plan and prep day, I go in more detail with that because you had a plan for the short-term stuff and the long-term stuff, okay? That's how your day gets ruined. Oh my God, I forgot. You guys have a dental appointment today. And next thing you know, that's your whole day, okay? I would have to check if you have a video about home cleaning and maintenance. I find I don't ever have clean clothes to wear because nobody does any of that for me, of course, and I live on Gatorade. Listen, for the clothes, just laundry. Laundry is my big, listen, y'all, this is old school. Before there was all these YouTube channels on Clean With Me and, all that kind of stuff, there was Fly Lady. Go to her website, flylady.net. A little big, pudgy, pleasantly plump woman with some butterfly or fly wings on her back with some cleaning stuff in her hand. And she would clean in zones. But her main takeaway was clean your sink. So when you come down first thing in the morning, you're pleasantly greeted with a clean sink because there's nothing like seeing a whole bunch of dirty dishes in your kitchen when you come downstairs. But Gisela, she has a section on clothes. She has them in what's called zones, right? And she tackles that because I always have clean clothes to wear, but my kids don't. And that's because they don't put their clothes away. And then they put dirty clothes on top of the clean clothes, which contaminates the clean clothes. So they think they have no clothes to wear. It's a cluster. That's my next thing. Okay. Oh, I got to start taxing them on that. Oh, guys, thank you. I need to start taxing them on that because I hate it. They just, All right. So anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But yes, see, you're thinking. So sit down and think, okay, why do I not have any clothes? It's because I don't have time to get my clothes in the washing machine, or are my clothes sitting in the washing machine getting moldy and smelly? Or is it because A, B, and C? And then figure out what it is. And then we back engineer and figure out, okay, well, if I just do a load a day. Fly Lady is amazing with how she tells you how to stay on top of laundry. If I do a load a day, so in the morning, I put something in to wash. In the afternoon, put it in the dryer. And in the evening, I fold it up. That's one load a day. And then you build up. But she's really great with that, okay? Fly Lady, can't be a homeschooler without mentioning her. Yes, I love. And you know what? She has not even changed her website in like 15 years. So I know she's making money, honey. If you ain't got to update and do all the new fancy themes that are out for the website, you making money. So I love that. Good for her. All right. So I think I got last thing. Okay. Find your tribe. Sometimes it gets lonely. And that makes you sad. That gives you the woes because you don't have another mom you can commiserate with. And that's hard. So that's why I like getting on here. I'm really going to try to up this channel and make it more of a community where we can come and, vibe with other people and vent. And maybe you can find a fellow mom that you can kind of fellowship with or just break bread with, because it gets rough, and just not having someone who doesn't know it, it's hard. I know, I get it. So I definitely want to get that going so you guys have a tribe that you can go to. But let's talk about that self-care really quickly before I end this. Look, I got all boys, and y'all know, not right now because I'm a mess right now, but I represent. Now, I don't just do this for YouTube. I look like this at 6 o'clock in the morning because I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's easy, but I don't have red lips on though. I don't do lipstick, but it makes me feel good. I'm doing something for myself. And throughout the day, it's a constant reminder that I did something for myself today. Now, it doesn't have to be wearing makeup or doing your hair or putting on like a nice shirt or something like that. Whatever brings you joy, you fight for that. And you do it as early as you can in the morning, okay? If you need, maybe I got so many mugs and they make me feel good. But this one doesn't. My husband bought this for me from Costco. I'm like, I don't do gray. I mean, thank you. You were thinking about me, but I don't do gray. That's some man stuff. I don't. But you see, I did drink from it. But I was like, when I was drinking from it, I like drinking from stuff like this with sparkles, all this kind of stuff. It makes me feel good when I'm drinking. See all my little sparkle stuff? So, oh, this was old. So in the morning, don't drink from a chipped coffee mug. Get you something nice that feels good. That could be something that makes you feel good, or a really nice writing pen. Find one little thing that brings you joy, that doesn't cost you anything or one initial cost, and let that be a reminder that you cared enough about yourself to do something nice for yourself, okay? We have to reprogram ourselves that we matter and not feel guilty about doing something for ourselves. Yes, Muna, a good tribe makes a difference. It really makes a difference. I'm a gardener. I'm lonely. Like, I'm online with people I don't know, trying to, break bread and build that community with other like-minded people. And nobody in my family, none of my friends garden. Like, my kids, they just do it. Mom, are those strawberries out yet? Well, I guess I'll go check. But they're not really deep into it. They don't know all the science, all that stuff. So I'm like, but boy, when I first moved here to California, I had a gardening buddy. I had a big garden up in the valley. I mean, I live like 5 minutes outside of Los Angeles. And in the valley, it's like you got LA is like a basin, and then you have the little mountains that y'all see on TV, and then on the other side of the mountain is a valley. Okay, it's called the Valley, and they have this huge community garden. You wouldn't even think this would be in Los Angeles because it's huge, because land is so expensive. And I was just in heaven with all of these beautiful people who garden, would give advice and everything. And then once my kids were born, it was like a 40-minute drive to get there. So, I stopped going. I gave it up. But I understand what having that tribe is, and people just get you, especially snarky mom story, especially when you're surrounded by people who don't get you. So the snarky mom story, but hold on, Gisela, all boys, we're the real MVP. Yep. If you don't get showered or makeup, at 6 a.m., it won't happen at all. Not happening. I like being the princess of the house, though. Yes, absolutely. My boys, oh my gosh. Listen, I already told my sons, I'm like, look, don't bring no hussy, no floozy. I use all those old school terms. I said, don't bring nobody who wears animal print and red lipstick. I don't bring nobody around. I mean, they're so young, but you got to plant the seeds. I'm like, don't bring somebody whose nails are this long, who pops gum. I'm like, so, but yeah, I love being the queen of the realm. So it's pretty cool. But Gisela, you made me lose my train of thought. What was I saying? The snarky mom. Yeah, the snarky mom. Okay, so there's two moms. One's a homeschooler, and the other was not. And where were we? Okay. Oh, I know. Okay, my son does football, and this is we went to Thousand Oaks because he had a clinic there. And you know, Thousand Oaks, that's kind of, it borders like where Kim Kardashian lives. It's a very rich area and very foo-foo, and so are the people there. But so one of the moms lived in the area, but the homeschooling mom didn't. And so because you know, we homeschool, so the clinic was on a Saturday. It was a Saturday morning, and it's a long drive. It took me like 40 minutes to get there. And the mom like lives like in Long Beach or Orange County or something like that. And it took her even longer to get there. She car schools. As a matter of fact, she's a world schooler. It's a sister. She's a world schooler. And let me tell you, they've been to like 27 countries. She's on IG. No, she's not. She's on, no, she does classes. She doesn't, I'm not gonna put her business out there because they're kind of like laying low, but she's a world schooler, and she was actually at a homeschool conference, a small homeschool conference last year. That's how I met her. But anyway, so, and her family's really eclectic. So anyway, excuse me. So they have everything in their car. And because they homeschool, they world school a lot, they have learned to have everything they need like on them or around them. Okay, they don't carry a lot of stuff. So we're out here talking because the camp is like 2.5 hours long, and the world schooler, she was saying what they were doing on the drive up to the clinic, and then the other mom was like, oh my God, why would you have all of that stuff in your car? And that just makes your car really junky. And, you know, she was just saying and it was all throughout the whole time. And we kept just like looking at each other and, you know, given she doesn't really get it. But I was kind of slightly amused. I was kind of playing devil's advocate. But anyway, because her kids are smart as a whip. I mean, they speak so many languages. They know how to, do the money exchange in their head, convert the currency rate. I was impressed. I was like, oh my God, you need to have some classes, woman. But the other mom was like, well, why are you always around the world? Like, don't they miss their friends? And like, they don't have they don't have like activities where they can make bonds and friendships and stuff like that. She's like, don't you think that's kind of cruel? She said cruel. It was almost like the Clueless movie. She was like, oh my God, that's so cruel. Like, your kids aren't going to make any friends. Do they do Girl Scouts or Boy Scout? It was like all that kind of stuff. Oh, Lord. I'm like, girl, let me get her. Let me get her. But I was kind of cool, but, I kind of gave some pushback. But just, that's why you can't tell everybody your business, because they don't get it. She had issues with the stuff in this woman's car. I mean, her car was a little junky, but she lives in her car with her kids. Like, they're going all throughout California. And like, they're getting ready to go to the California mission. So she had for her fourth grader, because in California in fourth grade they teach California history, she had all this stuff, and she had like little models, like little supplies to make models for the California missions, because they have a big van, and just a lot of stuff she can teach in her car. So that's why you have to have a bubble sometimes. Now I understand the Amish people, and I met them because I used to, I always go to Pennsylvania. My family's from Pennsylvania, and the South, but also Pennsylvania. And so I'm used to, the Pennsylvania Dutch people, they're friendly with you, but then they go back to their own community and that's where they stay. I get it. But yeah, she was like, the car, and you're abusing your kids because you're taking them around the world and they're not going to have any friends. Oh, all the typical stuff that non-homeschoolers kind of say sometimes, socialization and stuff like that. I'm like, girl, her kids can socialize in 5 different languages from ages 0 to 99. What can your kids do? Anyway, don't get me started, but girl, and my friend, the world schooler, she was kind of, over it because, she's already gotten pushed back from family, stuff like that. So it didn't really faze her. Oh, I just kind of wanted to just, you know how sometimes you just want to get into it. I just wanted to shut that mom down. So anyway, so that was the snarky mom. So the takeaway is protect yourself and be mindful of who you're talking to, and definitely be mindful of who you let in your house. Because if you work from home and you school from home and you do all of that, your house is probably a mess. Like, if I could show you, that would be really brave on my part. This office is a mess. You'll have people that come in and judge you. Okay, you can't just let anybody into your house unless they are another struggling underwater crazy homeschooler like you. If their house is dirtier than yours, then you let them into your house. Okay, but other than that, don't do it. They'll talk about you. Yeah, oh, the pit bull. I get, especially now, I didn't have to protect her because she's a seasoned homeschooler. Like, they've been homeschooling for like 15 years. They know all the discounts for traveling. She ain't no wallflower, no little snowflake. But it was that woman, and I saw her little raggedy son in line, and they already talking, cussing and stuff like that. I already know the get down. So I'm like, but if she were a new homeschooler, I definitely would have stepped in and then set the snarky mom right. I would have, put her on blast with a smile, though, because I'm a Southern lady. So, we shoot daggers with smiles and, pretty clothes on, and then we get you. Shank you. Don't even see it coming. All right. Let's see. That's so mean and ignorant. I would have told her that it would be easier for me to drop my kids at early school care, go in the hills to a snooty gym, dump my kids in public school, and go to work in happy hour. Yeah, because these parents, and I'm not going to generalize these parents, but when you're driving in that area, it's so sanitized and so Stepford Wives like you can just tell that it would probably be a hive mentality. Like, you would not be free to be your own person because everybody kind of does the same thing and they want you to do the same thing. So there's no nail sticking out of the box. That nail that sticks up gets hammered down. So, and actually, frankly, I'm surprised her son was even playing football, because it's for linemen only. And yeah, I was surprised. Maybe her husband couldn't make it. Maybe he was off somewhere. But yeah, I was actually surprised that she would even have her son doing football versus doing something academic on the weekend. So I'm like, girl, please. And of course, she was all dolled up. But I get dolled up. But this was... So you got to watch out for some of these moms, because they're on the prowl for your husband or somebody else's husband. So that's that kind of community that we were in. So it was so painfully obvious. Bless her pig and heart. The Southern ladies cuss word. Yes. Or, I love how we kill you with questions like, oh, who's your dentist? Because the woman has jacked up teeth, it's just like, I love it. I love the snarkiness of a true Southern woman. I'm Latina. I say straightforward what I think. Don't get me started. Girl, you hot. Yes. I lived in New York City for about 5 years. I was surrounded by Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Haitians, Venezuelans, El Salvadorians, and I was up in the Bronx, Brooklyn. Yes, y'all don't play. I know. Plus my husband is part Latino, so yeah, I know the get down. I know the get down. Okay, so if y'all don't have any questions, I hope that was helpful. I was just jotting down just some quick notes. I didn't really, put it in like an organized fashion. All I was thinking of was like, man, I was really struggling because I didn't have my together, and I didn't want that to happen again. I'm like, taxes happen every April 15th, girl, get it together. And I just didn't have it together. And then just letting things that I know better happen was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do better. because now I know better, or I remember better. So, but I gave myself a 5-minute pity party, and that was it. And let me tell you, with the failures, I forgot my kids, they do parkour, and the day changed from Sunday at 11 to Tuesday at 4:30. Do you know how many times they missed that class? 2 weeks in a row. I was like, I didn't write it down. I said I was going to remember. And then when I wrote it down, but I on my phone, but I put it under the wrong calendar. I have like my mom calendar and then the calendar for the whole family. It was just a cluster F, and they missed 2 classes. I called the owner. I'm like, oh my God, we had this going on. I kind of like fudged a little bit, and she's like, oh, great, it's okay. I'll give you some makeup tokens. So, because if you miss a class and don't let them know ahead of time, you lose. You don't get to make it up, and those classes are not cheap. So I was like, where is my head? Twice we missed that class. And then my kids reminded me, but it takes 20 minutes to get there. And by then it would have been, 20 minutes of a missed class. So I was just messed up from the flow up all last week and then coming into this week. So I said, let me get my stuff together. Being unorganized really led to all of my troubles, guys. Not being prepared and being unorganized. And you know what? We should probably do some plan with me. It's like on Sunday, not late at night, but kind of in the middle of the day, just some plan with me. So to hold us accountable. I mean, I do it anyway, like for homeschool, but I just I've gotten really comfortable with the routine, and I need to kind of change it up so it can kind of, invigorate me, because I'm just like sleepwalking through it and I'm not even paying attention. So if you don't have any more questions, we've been on here an hour and 21. I'm trying to keep this an hour because it's called the Hall Pass Hour. But if there are no more questions, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for all of the new faces. You may not be new, but this is the first time I'm seeing you in the live. Gisela and Ashley E. Thank you guys for stopping by. And Aaron, it's always good to see you again. But yes, next week, my sons are helping me with my social media stuff, so I'll be more active. And then also, because of the stuff going on the last 2 weeks, I haven't put out any videos besides the live. That's why you haven't seen a lot of videos, because I just couldn't do it, y'all. I didn't have my stuff together, but now I got my stuff together. So I'm going back to my 2 or 3 videos a week, and I'm really excited about that. And also, before I leave, you have your free download checklist. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think I put the new one up. If not, I'll put it up when this live is over, because I redid my description box. So, because I changed out the free homeschool checklist, but it might still be down there. But anyway, your homeschool checklist, print that out. It's free. You don't need fancy. You need practical. It's better to be done and looking shaky than not done because you're trying to be perfect. Okay. So I'd rather take something that's done. So yes. Hold on. I think I missed a couple of things. Okay. So anyway, so you do have that free printable, and I am thinking of starting a group. I know I tried to do it last time, but I was supposed to be in my herbology class, and then with California and its regulations with businesses, that fell through. Now we're back open. So, but I already made different plans for that herbology class. So I am free to start back up the membership channel, but I don't think I'm going to do it on YouTube. So I'm still trying to figure that out, because I have a lot of content for you guys, a lot of free stuff, and I really want to get that tribe going for us. So details to come next week. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here. I do movie night with my kings, and we are watching Ocean's 11. So I'm excited to watch that again, and I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I do appreciate that. And I'm gonna have something free for y'all next week. I feel like giving y'all something free. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Bye-bye.